Good afternoon. I'd like to call to order, Bill, Board of Aviation Commissioners.
Pete Bell,
Here.
Tim Patterson,
Here.
Ed Harrell,
Here.
Andrew Yarian,
Here.
and Kevin Yarian.
Who's absent, could be later. I'd like to, have a motion to approve the minutes of the previous meeting. Over me.
They'll move. Second.
We have a motion. We have a second discussion. All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? So moved. Approval of claims.
They'll move.
Second. Motion and a second. Discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, so moved. I'm confused.
So we normally don't have December meetings,
Oh,
so
okay.
this is approval to, for December claims, so I can go ahead and get them paid.
All right. We need a motion to approve the December claims when they're presented. Do you, right? Or do you have, okay.
Make a motion.
We have a motion, we have a second discussion. All in favor? Aye. Thank you. Engineers report?
Yeah, we've got, a pay application on AIP 32, pay request 6 for a BFS invoice, and that's on the hangar project. That gets you reimbursed for some invoices that have come in, so that invoice 110157. If you want to talk about the hangar status so far, so they're done with the exception of the solar cable and the epoxy floor, which I was told. The epoxy floor was scheduled last week, but they did a moisture test on the slab and the moisture came in too high. So they couldn't put the epoxy on it. So this week, if the moisture content doesn't come down, they will apply a primer that is compatible with the higher moisture. They'll put the epoxy on the top, and they will charge any additional for that additional primer. But the slab is just not drying out as quickly as they thought it might. And you don't want to put the epoxy on with it too high, otherwise that causes it to peel. So the primer should take care of it because it's made for that application. So
Will it impact your curing like concrete? I'm good with the slow cure.
yeah, I mean, if you want them to hold off and let it,
No, I don't think it would impact it. When was it poured? I forget how long it was poured.
2 months?
yeah, 2 months.
Jeez.
Yeah, they were surprised. It was something that John Clare mentioned because we've had a issue on another hangar where the epoxy coating was peeling after it was installed, and the manufacturer came back and made a big deal about the moisture content and so forth. So it's something that we've started to test before they put the epoxy on it, just to make sure. And come to find out, it is more common of a problem than what we had usually thought. So there is a primer that's specially made for this that allows it to go on. The primer takes, I think, 48 hours, and then once you put the epoxy on, it takes 7 days before you should put an aircraft in it. So that's the status on the floor. So apologies, we thought we would have it back to you here like this week. But the floor coating is definitely holding it up. And then the solar cable, they're hoping to wrap that up before they came back. What the delay on that was, they had given that initial quote that had been a few months before we had told them our direction, and they asked for an additional. So we had to talk through that we weren't going to give them an additional. So they're doing it for the original price as quoted, and it just didn't get done when, when we told them after last month, when we told them to do it. So, sorry for that delay as well. Hopefully we'll have you here, a hangar in a couple weeks that you can put an airplane in. So all these, action items are basically hangar reimbursements through the different, grants and, but basically that first one on 32 and then AIP 36 and then AIP 37 is the brand new grant that we just got in September. So it'll basically do it via one and done on that one, 157,000. And then we basically have to wait 12 months for the next draw until we get that. So once we get the substantial completion though, there is about $90,000 amongst the three grants that are open. We'll have one more 92,000 and change that we can put towards the loan. And then we'll just stay in the loan until this time next year. And we'll have another one more round of IAJA and one more round of NPE to put towards it. And then I think we have 2 more years of non-primary entitlement after that, and then the hangar will be paid off.
So we need a motion to approve AIP 32.
Make a motion.
Second.
We
Said
have a motion, a
32,
second,
32 or 36?
32.
Oh, up here at the top. I'm sorry. Yes.
We have a motion, second. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Motion to approve the final application for AIP 36.
Motion.
Second. Motion and a second. Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? So moved. Motion to approve the final application AIP 37.
Motion.
Motion?
Second.
Motion and a second. Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? So moved.
That's pretty much all I had. I did get a phone call from the FAA regarding the airspace submittal on the airstrip attack last Thursday. They just had some questions, clarifications on the map that was developed on that, and then some clarification on the lease amount in reference to the economic impact of the total event. So I think I just need to clarify that where barricades, where pedestrians are going to be, and what the plan is to separate those here. This diagram, it shows the areas on there, but it doesn't really say we're going to have any barriers or anything. So they want to know what the plan is there. That on the lease agreement versus the that other document. It's the lease payment was what, $5,000?
Yeah.
And then in the other document, it says revenue of $125,000.
Okay.
And I think the FAA was like, this, what's going on between these two? And I think the 125,000 is a calculation of the induced revenue generated through people coming and spending money at vendors and parking and, not directly paid to the airport. So they wanted that clarification. So I think we'll just tweak the language in that one document and say we expect a induced revenue to the community of estimated to be 125,000 with a direct revenue payment to the airport of $5,000. So it should clear it up and hopefully they're all happy.
Very good.
Any concerns on your end?
No, Jason contacted me. I haven't talked to him, just other than via text. I told him I'd talk to him later. I think he's just wanting to solidify his schedule for his airstrip attack for 2026. I told him I didn't see any reason. I just reiterated what you told me in the email. As long as we can give him the FAA a 90-day notice. But I think that I don't see any reason to not put us on the schedule for next year. And I think he's fine with that. He just wants to, clarity.
Yeah, I think the lease is good that you have. I feel comfortable that we'll fulfill the FAA requirement, whether they respond back before your event or not.
Mhm.
So if the board so chooses to enter into the lease, I don't see an issue with it.
Okay,
Yeah, we've got plenty of time to coordinate it out, these couple questions that they have, so.
have you signed the lease?
Haven't seen the lease.
Yeah, I sent her an email. You read it and we talked about it.
That was 3 months ago. Do you expect me to remember that? I'll look at it this afternoon.
That's fine. So no, you haven't signed. It's okay. I just wasn't real sure if we had moved
Yeah.
forward.
And it has been a little bit peak, we submitted the airspace, but it was probably 3 weeks after it was approved by the board on the concept. And then we had a government shutdown thing. So while the AD of the airport district office was still working because they're paid out of the trust, the other line of FAA business were not. So we got, in the last week, I got a whole slew of stuff that came back that was just held up. Yeah, it was just in the backlog.
Paul, I have a question, on the MAP program and whether there's any way that we qualify for it.
On which program?
MAP, MAP, military aircraft, something.
The military aircraft program?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Do we, at one time, and I have no documentation, at one time I was told,
Airport, yeah.
I was told that, we was the, say backup or right path. I haven't been able to verify that, but if it is true, then would we qualify to participate in this program?
Yeah, I don't know. It's the military airport program, and what it is it's when they have a joint military and civilian use.
Right.
So like a good example in Indiana would be Shelbyville
Mhm.
has the helicopter there, and that's a National Guard joint use. Fort Wayne is another
Right, yeah,
joint use.
Pocono.
Terre Haute used to, yeah, well, Grissom is that's an actual Air Force. But it's not, Miami County doesn't have any interest in the airport. It's still Air Force owned, but they allow public operation there now. So
Okay,
it's kind of tricky. I don't know the answer to that.
and I don't know if that designation that I was told about is real.
Yeah, I don't know. I thought Gene maybe talked about
He
that,
did.
He
That's
did talk about it, yeah.
That's how I knew about it.
but I don't remember.
But, knowing Gene talking about, it, that could have been World War II. So,
I just heard we were an alternate, that's
yeah,
all.
and I guess if we were an alternate, we fall under that military umbrella.
I don't know.
Doesn't sound like it. Because I'm thinking about a joint use like,
Yeah, I mean,
like F-16 or like Shepherd Air Force Base area.
Or KC-130s have landed here.
When,
Oh, we've had an F-18 in here.
I remember that.
We had 130s in.
Yeah, we
But,
have.
I
When
mean,
your predecessor managed the airport.
we had an F-18 here. I remember that.
Okay.
yeah.
Her brother
It was
was an Air Force pilot.
He was probably a baby.
Yeah. Well, the military can operate in a civilian airport without a joint use agreement. They pretty much, it's an asset in the United States. They can do pretty much whatever they want. But to qualify for funding, they have to
Be designated.
use it. You basically have a joint use agreement that says, we're going to use this a certain amount of time in exchange. They help pay on some of the maintenance and so forth like that. Because ironically enough, there are a lot of airports that have a significant amount of military operation, but you're not allowed to spend AIP, airport improvement money to support military operations because it's an aviation trust fund and it's generated by domestic user fees. And so you can't spend it on the military operation. North Vernon has an issue with this because they have pretty large exercises. with Muscatatuck Urban Training Center down there. So they'll have C-130s and Chinooks and a whole bunch of Blackhawk that come in there, take over the airport for a weekend or so. And they used to get no revenue out of it whatsoever. They finally got a contracting fuel arrangement, which you don't need to be joint use on that, but they do contract fuel now. So the military brings a fueler in, but they buy all their fuel from the airport. So they'll pump like 5,000 gallons of jet fuel into their fueler and use that fuel for the exercise. So that's pretty good revenue for the airport for the weekend. So that might be something. If you have activity, that's an avenue on how you get money out of it, is out of the fuel rather than a land lease or something like that.
Thank you.
Mhm.
Moving on, old business. Anyone?
I don't know if it falls under old business, maybe it's new. Have we began, and I apologize, I wasn't present at the last board meeting. We began marketing for our new hangar yet. Have we done anything with that? And Dad had mentioned that there was somebody maybe that just had, I don't want to say interest, but was aware of our hangar. Anything come out of that or?
No, I called him after the last meeting, left a voicemail, but I haven't heard anything back.
Okay.
I
Just
just,
some Harrison area.
We were discussing rates.
uh,
We were discussing rates.
Okay.
Did we say 5,000 for the whole thing, like right now, or?
that's what we talked about.
Yeah, yeah.
But I received correspondence, and you should have probably gotten it as well, on available hangar space in the state. See that?
Email?
Who'd that one come from, Pete?
That's what I'm looking for
Okay.
it here now.
From the state of Indiana, or you're not sure?
I didn't bring it apparently. It's in my airport file, so I'll send it.
There's a couple of aviation real estate sites on this Facebook that I look at, and sometimes I'll advertise there, so we can put a picture of ours and, have the,
This was just doing an inventory of.
what you're,
Yeah.
yeah, I like that, if
I'll send
get
it.
on that list or
Yeah.
whatever, yeah. But, I was thinking we could do a couple things there.
Yeah.
We really had to set our rate, or,
Again, we talked about
Yeah,
5,000.
yeah.
Is that enough or is that too much? I don't think it's too much, but is that enough?
Paul,
Paul?
I think Paul brought it up anyway, just for
Yeah, I
What
think
those guys were-
5,000 was what they were getting at North Vernon for the similar size hangar a month. Yeah, I think if you had like a long time user, I can't remember how they did it, because they had one user for a while, then they split it in half. And they had half of it, so I don't think it was 25 or 25, I think. The two users added up to more than 5,000, but because there was, some headaches with the in and out and that kind of stuff.
Okay.
But if you had one user, it was one fee, and two users, I think it was a little bit more to cover your extra risk and hangar keepers and all that kind of stuff.
I don't think we established, or I know we discussed, overnights
Yeah.
and or short term. We didn't put a rate together for that, did we?
No, I guess, we need to come in here with maybe a fee schedule. And then say, okay, we're gonna approve it or not approve it, or hey, that should be.
What do you think? Not, that's personal. But do they have that kind of an arrangement at Knox? Or that's your hangar at Knox? So it's-
Yeah, it's mine. What's else?
150 at Evansville.
Evansville.
For mine.
Or
Jeff's.
Ag planes. Well, if we did, divide that by 30, it's 166. So in reality, not that you're saying 150, but I'm just saying the situation,
I don't know if it, 225, 250 a night, because if he said 150 a night, never signed a lease, it'd be cheaper than the 5,000 a month. Yeah. You're looking at 4,500, I think, for the bunk. So you have to watch that. The other question I had is and it's really, it's not why we built this hangar, but, let's talk with one gentleman, I can't remember his name, but he's got a hangar at another airport and he wants to move down to Connersville and he was asking availability and I said, really not a lot of availability on the T hangars. And of course he saw our new hangars. So would you guys rent a space that's same square footage as the T hangar in that? So I don't know. I think we're open to anything, but I'm not going to tell you yes.
Yeah.
You know, we're looking for one. The best thing would be one tenant. But I don't know. I mean, I don't want to say yes or make any commitment on that because we haven't really even surveyed the field, what was out there. I mean, if it's, 6-7 months after some really hard marketing for that, and we're not getting any bites, then maybe we can talk about partitioning that, or not physically, but
Right.
just.
Yeah.
But I think we can get into the semantics of liability. Well, what do you do if you got 6 other airplanes in there and they're all separate leases and somebody bangs into one and it could be really cloudy, So, I'm in favor, back to the round. I mean, if that's a competitive market rate, a brand new building, with our runway and what we have here, 5,000 a month is pretty fair. I don't know if a nightly fee, we charge 200, which would be equatable to 6,000 a month. I don't know if that's too much, too little. But I'm in favor of 5,000. At least we can start marketing. We can always go down, it's hard to go up.
Right.
Yeah.
And there would be either we establish a flat fee or there would be additional fees on an overnight because
Correct.
somebody would have to put the plane in, take it out, that sort of thing. I don't know if you want to have an all-encompassing fee.
Would that fee be separate that Jeff would charge independently, or would it be something the airport would charge?
I mean, we're giving him an opportunity to use the airport. Why should he take it?
Yeah, I was just thinking about the, not necessarily that, but if we did rent a space, we'd have to have some kind of wording like, hey, if somebody comes here to rent the whole thing,
You're gone.
you're gone, or you have to match that or whatever. I mean, but something like that, I don't know.
No, I think
You don't want to tie up the spot and miss them.
jet. Yeah, it's coming in and says, well, what's this? What's this tail wheel you got over here? This light sport tail wheel you got over here in the corner.
Yeah.
Well, this guy's leasing that. Well, can you break that lease? Well, don't worry about it. We got 3 others we're looking at, and then you miss
Yeah.
out.
Yeah.
So yeah, I
We'll
think
have
it's
that option or
Yeah.
wording.
absolutely.
Could be it's probably a temporary thing.
I think you're exactly right, Jeff. I think we need to establish a rent rate, and even
Yeah.
overnight. And
Yes.
then it gives
Yeah.
us some solid ground of, hey, this is what it is. This is when it's going to be done. This is when you're going to be in charge of utilities for that, for the propane on the heat and the electric.
Mhm.
Plus, I guess that's what we're going for. The propane and the electric is going to be on them plus the rent.
Okay, right. I think that's fair. 'Cause
I do, because if they leave that door
Oh,
open and
yeah.
it just burns up the propane and then we got to pay for that. I think
Then you have an overnighter comes in,
we can,
need thawed out.
well, we could put that into the price of the overnight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But he paid, because you'd have to run the heat all night, where somebody else might not run it all night.
Yeah. Yeah, it's hard. Yeah.
If we do some research, I know we can look at like places in Florida where they charge them for these kinds of, see, some people might have these breakdowns, or Minnesota or whatever, some big place. This is what we charge for, if you have to run heat, or I don't know.
I mean,
It's
even
gotta
if
be
you have
some
an overnight comes in, sits on the ramp, it's covered with ice, the next morning he wants it thawed out,
Yeah.
that could be a
Yeah.
decent fee.
Yes. Yeah.
Cause you're gonna have to clean the floor, you're gonna have to do all kinds of things.
Mhm. Yeah.
What's the biggest thing we can put in there?
Gulfstream.
Okay,
Which
Yeah.
one?
G5.
G5.
G5, I mean, you can't pull it straight in, you have to angle it a little bit. But yeah, if you pull it in and you turn the nose over, it'll go in there.
so then it kind of limits the corner spaces that you would use for something that's smaller.
Yeah, you probably wouldn't get anything else in there when
Yeah.
I'm kind of in favor of not offering smaller planes unless the tenant wants to take the whole unit, the whole hangar. Let's give it some time here to do some marketing.
I agree.
You know, and then if we get down to like, well, we'll take anything now, well, then we
Yeah.
can talk about
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
But, you know, we'll shoot for a home run for now. Doesn't work out, we'll go to singles.
I think we have planes that would be coming in and could be parked there overnight.
There's a
That's good.
Pilatus that came in. I mean, you guys are way more familiar than I am, but saw a Pilatus out there maybe a couple weeks, a month ago. I don't know if they stayed overnight.
One thing that we did talk about that you missed, Andy, last week was at one time we had, before we built the 6 new T hangars, we had split the Quonset into, you know, like 3 or 4 spaces.
Okay.
And we rented
Okay,
those out. So,
Yeah.
we've, and now I remember you know, it was handwritten on the lease, space and Quonset, you know, whatever. So, but I'd much rather do half of it or a whole instead of a spot.
so I guess are we setting a rate now, at least a monthly rate? Is that what we're doing?
Have you done- You guys were researching.
Yeah, let's do some research.
Okay.
We'll come in here with a
Price sheet.
just a price
Price
sheet
chart.
and let everybody look at it and say, okay, then we can have that's not enough.
Do you want to wait until the end of January to make that final? Is that too long? Because I mean, if we're gonna get the hangar wrapped up here in the next 2 to 3 weeks, maybe I'm,
I think
Oh,
it needs to be put out there.
Yeah.
I think
well, that's what I'm saying. I don't know how comfortable we are advertising for that if we don't have,
Right,
it's
right.
kind of like selling a vehicle and be like, shoot me an offer. It's like, oh,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I see the potential use for it between December and March. Just
Overnights.
overnights.
Are we okay, or let's just for right now, are we okay with 5,000?
I am.
Okay, 5,000 a month.
2,500 if we split it.
Well,
We talked last week.
Why
We
not?
talked about maybe more.
Why not like 3,000 per half?
I like that.
3,000.
Because we just talked about, 3,000 per half. And the overnight is like, you know, 190 to 200. Is 200 too scary or?
I don't think so.
199.
If you think, you know, you got 30 days, 200 at 6,000. I
Okay,
mean, I guess you could go 175, 180 if you wanted, but what's an extra $20?
Yeah.
And if a plane's gonna come in, it's that size and needs an overnight, I don't think they're gonna squawk at 200
No.
bucks.
If it's a larger plane, they're not paying the bill anyway.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, it's a corporate, yeah.
Yeah, it's a corporate.
Whip it in.
especially winter time here coming up.
Yeah.
Okay, let's do that. Let's say we at least have these numbers to advertise, but an overnight might be likely as soon as we get there. Okay to use it with the winter time for sure. Okay.
200.
Yeah, I can send that to you. I'll look. Is that all the new business? Any questions or comments from? any of us?
Let's talk about the
Oh,
Christmas party. Have you gotten any responses back?
Yeah, do we wanna adjourn or?
Oh. Let's get to June first.
take somebody.
I think we're gonna go ahead and adjourn.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you guys were discussing the Christmas party.
No.
Okay, I'll accept the motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
We are adjourned. Thank you.